In your listing chapter of a book, there's a question that says a lot contained 500 square yards and had a frontage of 50 feet. If the lot was rectangular in shape, what would be the depth of the lot? If I draw it out, my lot's going to look something like this. I've got a width of 50 feet, and I've got an area of 500 square yards. Now, if you look at that, is there something that jumps out at you? If you'll notice, my area is measured in square yards, and my width is measured in feet. I have unequal measurement amounts, so I need to convert one of them. All of my answers are in feet, which tells me I need to convert my square yards into square feet. In order to do that, I need to know that there are 9 square feet in 1 square yard. If you're a visual person, it looks something like this. Because each yard is 3 feet, 3 feet by 3 feet gives me 9 square feet. So I take my 500 square yards, I multiply it times the 9 feet per square yard, and I come up with 4,500 square feet. Now I can take that 4,500 square feet and now divide it by the one dimension that I know, and that gives me a depth, or this area here I'm looking for, of 90 feet. A lot contained 600 square yards and had a frontage of 40 feet. If the lot was rectangular in shape, what would the depth of the lot measure? Drawing the lot out, 600 square yards is my area, and my width is 40 feet. I'm looking for the depth. I have dissimilar measurements here. I have an area in square yards, and I have answers in feet. So I need to get my area of 600 square yards into square feet, and in order to do that, I multiply it times 9 square feet per square yard. This gives me a total of 5,400 square feet. Now that I know that I have 5,400 square feet of area, I can take that and divide it by the one dimension I know, which is the 40 feet, and I can come up with the depth of the lot, which is 135 feet. Questions? There is a question that says a property measured 100 by 160 feet and sold for $20,000. If another piece of property in the same neighborhood with the same features measured 100 by 120, what should be the approximate sales price of this property? If you look at the question, can you see what the question is trying to get at? The question is actually trying to get you to figure out the price per square foot of the first lot and apply it to the second lot. So I know my first lot is 100 by 160. In order to figure out the area, or the square footage, I just multiply those two dimensions together, and I come up with a total of 16,000 square feet. Now that lot sold for $20,000. So I can take my $20,000 and divide it by the 16,000 square feet and come up with a price per square foot of $1.25. All else being equal, the second lot, which sold, was 100 feet by 120 feet deep. If I take the two dimensions of that lot and multiply them together, I get 12,000 square feet. I know the first lot sold for $1.25 per square foot. All I need to do is take my 12,000 square feet, multiply it by $1.25, and I come up with an approximate sales price of $15,000. Additional questions. A person bought 3 lots for $22,000 net each and divided them into 4 lots of equal frontage. The lots were then sold for $18,000 each. What was the approximate percentage of gross profit? In order to figure this out, I need to figure out how much profit was actually earned and then figure out what percentage it was of the purchase price. So I take my 3 lots, which cost $22,000, and I find their total price by multiplying 3 times 22,000, which means that the total purchase price was $66,000. That person then turned around and redivided it into 4 lots, which they sold for $18,000 each. So the total sales price of the 4 lots was $72,000. Now to figure out what the profit was, all I have to do is take the sales price minus the purchase price, and I come up with $6,000 in profit. However, the question isn't asking what the profit was, it's trying to figure out what the percentage of gross profit is. So if I take my $6,000 in profit, and if I divide it by my purchase price of $66,000, I get an approximate percentage of gross profit of 0.09 or 9%. Mrs. Falk owned a lot measuring 200 by 200. She sold a 20-foot square to her neighbor for $1.60 per square foot. What was the total sales price? This one's easy to get off track on. Many people look at the 200 by 200 of the size of Mrs. Falk's lot. But the question is, that I pose to you is that lot size even important? What did Mrs. Falk actually sell? She sold a 20-foot square. And if I think about what a 20-foot square is, it's 20 feet by 20 feet. 20 feet by 20 feet gives me 400 square feet. And she sold each square foot at $1.60 per square foot, which gives me a total sales price of $640.